let's take a quick look at all 4 Ninja Turtles from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the infamous third film, released by Neca. I wish I had the VHS 4-pack of these guys, but alas, we're going to have to deal with the two 2-packs. I actually had no plans of picking up these guys. I have the 4 Turtles from the first movie by Neca and the second movie. I don't know of anybody who actually would defend the third film. It's pretty horrendous in every way. In fact, the only reason why I decided to get something that sort of represents that film is because after all these years, and because of the kind of infamy of this film, these guys have become a part of pop culture and my fleeting childhood at the time that third movie came out, which, my God, is barely, it should barely count as a Ninja Turtles movie. I actually just watched it tonight before I'm shooting this video, just to kind of refresh my memory of it. It's as if I don't know, the Disney Channel made a made-for-TV film that's meant to be a parody of 90s cinema, if that makes any sense. It's just so bad. The way it's directed, the way it's written, the jokes are horrible now, and they weren't even passable back then. Everything about this third film is just ugh. The only reason why it even counts is because of when it came out, and I think for the most part they got all the same voice actors for the Turtles, except maybe Raphael. I'm not really sure. But the other reason why I picked these up, besides them being, begrudgingly a part of pop culture history, is that I had seen other reviews of these figures, and a lot of people had said they were excellent figures, despite the movie being terrible. The figures were great, and that kind of made sense to me because there's so much more detail and accessory-wise as far as the armor is concerned that these might make really beautiful display pieces. So I figured I would check that out myself. So we have Michelangelo and Leonardo in one box and Donatello and Raphael in the other. There is no description or anything on these boxes. It's really just a bunch of product shots, which is fine. These boxes are going in the recycling bin as soon as I finish shooting this. But let's get these guys out of the box. And they are every bit as impressive as I have heard and seen in other videos. All right, let's talk about them. I just threw this in the background here because it's the same insert for both boxes. It's cardboard, but it's something additional for display purposes if that appeals to you. Okay, they come with cloth coats that go over already what is multiple layers of sculpted, very detailed armor. That's the only piece of them that is cloth. But that is obviously like a really nice addition. One of the things, let's just start with Raph here. All right, so the helmets are incredibly detailed. This little spike at top already, I think, pierced my skin once. They're really sharp. But the helmets are removable and they stay latched in place with that little insert piece right back there that latches onto the knot on their bandanas or their face masks or whatever you want to call them. They also come with the armored mask that they were seen wearing in the first half of the movie. They slide right on. The face sculpts are honestly, I don't even know if I'm getting that in focus, are honestly some of the most impressive I've seen. The detail is insane, all the way down to that little mark right there on Raph is a scar that I noticed on the puppeteer or whatever, like the face, the animatronic face of Raph in the movie. They took the time to add that. That's amazing to me. The gripes are very small, so let me just get them out of the way, and they're the same for all 4 figures. Some of the hands don't the hands that are meant to grip weapons don't hold things too snugly. I think notably Michelangelo and Raphael, their weapons just fall right out of their hands, or can fall right out of their hands. The only other gripe I have is that because they're so bulky, because of all the molded plastics and like this, the layers of clothing, I think overall these figures are a little less posable than the other NECA movie Ninja Turtles we've gotten. I, for one, could not possibly care less about that because I'm not a guy that puts my figures into action poses. They really just stand statically on a shelf, and I am happy with them. So these four absolutely do the trick for me. They still have the articulation. There is a waist joint, there is the hip, the knee, the ankle there is an ankle tilt, but it's minimal. The shoulders abduct only about that far. They don't even go to 90 degrees, unless I'm missing something. Anyway, I'm going to get the coat off of him in a second so I can show you. So here's Raph stripped down without the mask, the helmet, his size, or the coat. You can see the shell is underneath there, but this is not a removable thing as far as I can tell. But no matter. I mean, the torso on these guys is very, very bulky, and it's very cumbersome, and there's a lot less movement. But again, the detail makes up for that, in my opinion. Here's Mikey with his stuff coming off. Yeah, the nunchucks just fall right out of his hands. He's sporting a goofy smile. But again, the animatronics and the puppeteering, like the suits in the third movie, are just such a step down in quality that makes sense to me. I don't really have a problem with that. The armor on him is pretty much, I think it's identical on all the turtles. The belt is a little different. The helmets seem to be the same. The one really, really slight difference is on the armor masks. Some of the whiskers are in different colors, and I think they're posable very, very slightly. Not that you can do much with them, but they're really, really beautifully detailed. But that's a slight variation in them, just to kind of tell them apart. The knots and the draping sort of like masks are removable. I think I accidentally removed Mikey's. Now it's not budging, but they do come off. Take my word for it. And then of course we have Leo here. Let me remove his swords. He does hold on to his swords pretty snugly, thankfully. Leo's coat is a pain in the ass to get on because it does have these slits in the back, very, very specifically placed so that the sheaths to his swords kind of fit snugly over it, or in it rather. Again, really, really nice head sculpts, very, very reminiscent. Anything goofy about them is because they are taken right from the way these suits looked in the third movie, which is pretty horrendous at times when compared to the first and second movies. All right, accessories. You get 2 additional sets of hands in each 2-pack. I'm assuming all of these would be in the 4-pack if you were looking into getting that. They're open hands as well as fists. You also get 2 of the, I forget the bad guy's name. The bad guy from No Escape in Lethal Weapon 3. He had sort of like musketeer-esque swords. They come packaged, I think, with Mikey and Leonardo, which are nice. And the nicest accessory, in my opinion, is the magic lantern that comes with Raph and Donatello, which is really, really nicely detailed with some writing there on the handle. I will probably be displaying these 4 guys with one of them holding this. One additional thing I forgot to mention, the cloth coats do have a wire, and they don't button up or anything, but they do have a wire inserted on the edge of each side. So there is a little posability in the coats for what that's worth. So yeah, minus some limitations in articulation and posability, and the fact that they look a little goofy, which they should, these are excellent display figures. Really, really amazing. The detail is insane on them, and I really couldn't be happier with them. Yeah, I might be in agreement with what I've heard from other reviewers on YouTube, that as far as the NECA movie Ninja Turtles, these guys might be the best.